Brewing Feed is here in Cleveland, Ohio, the North Coast, the greatest location in the nation. We're here to check out the craft beer and food scene. Let's go see what they're working with.
And Holmes hammers out a long fly, which Kennedy pulls down near the left field wall. And the 1948 World Series is all over. The Cleveland Indians win a 4-3 triumph over the Boston Braves in the final game to take the series 4-2.
December 27th, 1964, Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. This is when and where the 1965 Browns story must begin, for this is when and where their championship maturity was fully achieved.
Warfield flanking left, Collins splits 8 at right end. Ryan to throw, blitz on. There's a long bomb to Collins, and he got the ball! He's in there for a touchdown!
Ernest Biner
Fumble
the ball, and Denver has recovered. Oh my! Biner had the first and goal and lost the ball.
Cleveland had been in the national and the international spotlight for various things. Mayor Ralph Perk setting his hair on fire, the Cuyahoga River ablaze, and now the nation's youngest elected mayor at the helm of a major American city, steering a course that made Cleveland the first city to go into default since the Great Depression.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
It's nothing to man above. Don't put you in situations that you can't handle. And I just kept that same positive attitude. Like, instead of saying, why me, they're saying this is what he want me to do. And Cleveland, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you.
Cleveland, Ohio. Population 400,000, with a greater metropolitan population of over 2 million people. With all its ups and downs, if any city deserves great beer and great food, it's Cleveland. In part 2 of our Cleveland Brewery Review series, we visit some of the East Side breweries. Our first stop was Willoughby, Ohio. Willoughby was first settled in 1798 and was named Willoughby in 1835. The actor and comedian Tim Conway was born here. Willoughby is home to 2 breweries, Brim and Willoughby Brewing Company. We only had time to visit one of them, so we chose Willoughby Brewing Company. Housed in a former railcar depot, Willoughby Brewing Company was Lake County's first brewery after Prohibition ended. They have been turning out award-winning beers like their Peanut Butter Cup Coffee Porter, which won gold in the specialty beer category in the 2014 World Beer Cup competition. Here at Willoughby Brewing Company, I consider it my OG craft brewery. I used to hang out here all the time, every Sunday watching football. I joined my first homebrew club and attended meetings and hung out with other homebrewers here for the first time. So let's go see what they're working with, and I'm sure it's good. Willoughby Brewing Company has a patio and an enclosed deck, which is very inviting, especially when they are filled with their patrons and their chatter, which can be heard from the parking lot. When you first walk into the building, you are greeted by a banner of their 2014 World Beer Cup Gold Medal. The place is roomy and the aesthetic has an industrious feel with its exposed brick walls and its towering arch windows. The brew house is walled in with glass behind the main bar, so it is boldly highly visible. The back deck, which is a fairly recent addition, is a very cool place to hang. We even ran into Mike, an old homebrew friend, hanging out back there, so we stopped recording and hung out for a little while. Willoughby Brewing Company received the Brewing Feed certification a long time ago because of its craft beer friendly menu and the use of some of their beers in some of their dishes. We highly recommend you hang out there if you're in the Cleveland area. Brewing Feed is here at the Cleveland Brewery on historic 185th Street, right next to the Standard Restaurant, which is a great restaurant. The Cleveland Brewery has big beers, big flavor, even though it's a small brewery. Let's go see what they're working with. Cleveland Brewery opened its doors in May of 2015. It's a small operation, but that doesn't stop crowds from gathering on Fridays and Saturdays, which are the only days the tap room is open. Cleveland Brewery twisted the learning curve into a pretzel and quickly began cranking out great beers on its one-barrel brew house. They produce crowd favorites with local and culturally inspired names like 185th Street Wheat, Celtic Warrior Red IPA, Terminal IPA, and one of my favorites, Sam Giovanni Saison, which is brewed with grape musk. One of our favorite things to do when we visit the Cleveland Brewery is to also visit the Standard Restaurant, which is right next door. The Standard is an oasis of fine dining that doesn't just make great food, they make great cuisine. They've done a great job of rendering a bit of charm and elegance into what was an aging space. With a grand bar and chandelier lights on the ceiling, the Standard sets the bar high for what you should expect from the food and the service, and they don't disappoint. With its edgy and daring menu options and robust craft beer selection, Brewing Feed highly recommends the Standard to any serious foodie or craft beer aficionado that's visiting the area. I'm here at Bottle House Brewing Company in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, just steps away from Cleveland Heights High School and less than a mile away from the legendary Kane Park, where they have jazz concerts and other events. Let's go see what they're working with. Bottle House Brewery opened its doors in Cleveland Heights, Ohio on Lee Road in 2012. With its pitball machines, live music, trivia, and other events, it's a fun place to hang. They have grown into a 7-barrel brew house, and they continue to crank out some of the most creative brews in the Cleveland area. In addition to the beer, they also have great meads, sours, ciders, and a small selection of sandwiches and snacks. Okay, I'm here at Gold Horn Brewery. It's on the corner of East 55th and St. Clair in Cleveland. A lot of people were surprised when they opened the place here, but they really done a good job of fixing up the place and revitalizing, or helping to revitalize a place that wasn't really run down, but it wasn't a lot of action going on over here. Behind me is Sterl's Slovenian Country House, which has been a very popular place for a long time. But with the addition of Gold Horn, it's helping this place revitalize itself. So I'm gonna go in and check it out and see what they're working with. Gold Horn Brewery is named after a Slovenian folk legend. The legend has it that the gold horn, which is a white goat antelope buck, had gold horns that were the key to a treasure hidden in the mountains around Triglav Mountain in Slovenia. The legend goes on to say that a young hunter went to hunt the gold horn so he could win the affection of a beautiful girl. He found the gold horn and shot it, but before he could catch the gold horn, magical flowers grew from the gold horn's blood. The gold horn ate one of the flowers and grew enough strength to knock the young hunter off a cliff to his death. So goes the legend, and here goes Gold Horn Brewery. Okay, I'm here at Gold Horn Brewing Company. It's a great brewery in an odd place, but they got great beer. I'm having the Dead Man's Curve IPA. Dead Man's Curve is an infamous part of Highway I-90 in Cleveland, Ohio, right in the downtown area. So IPA. Got their Oktoberfest. Let's see what that tastes like. Pretty solid brew. I got the Agora. Agora is an alt beer. It's probably one of my top 10 beers of all time. Ranks right up there with Czech Pilsner. But I already sampled it and I know it's great. So I'm going to take a 4-pack of this. And the Pilsner. First time I'm tasting this. It's a great crisp Pilsner. More like a Czech Pilsner, not an American Pilsner, so it's a little hoppy. No off flavors. Any brewery that can do a Pilsner is a good brewery in my opinion. So, Gold Horn Brewery. Check them out. Cleveland, Ohio, East 55th Street.